What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Geek Babble. We've had a whole bunch of new shit drop this week, and everybody's kind of watching it. So, want to do a quick show to kind of review some of this stuff. I got a great panel today. I got Matt to my right or left, depending on how you're looking at the screen, I guess. What's going on,
Duffy,
Matt?
Hey, Duffy, how's it going?
It's going, man. I know that you've watched everything on this list, unlike some other people, but that is... So, you excited to talk about our topics today?
I am. I'm very excited. Let's get into this as soon as we can.
Excellent. I can't wait to be off the show. I don't know how you get me to keep coming back. All right. Berto, with his cool lighting setup. What's going on, man?
Not much. I did not watch everything, but don't mind me. Talk about it all you want. But I feel good. I'm ready to go.
All right. And Nelly, who definitely did a lot of his homework. He fucking binged all these shows after last week. He was like, no. He's like, I'm in for the Godzilla talk. So you bring me back for that. So
I heard that. Watching it right now. Watching it again. I got it on right now.
That's a good idea, actually. I should throw that on the laptop.
Don't play it in the background. We're going to get a copyright strike for playing HBO Max shows.
Can you not hear it at all? You can't.
No, I can't hear anything.
Oh, wow.
We're good.
It's pretty loud.
All right. Well, the show works like this, guys. We basically are going to have 4 topics today to talk about. Some of them will be kind of quick topics. Some of them will be a little longer. 2 of them will be like full review. 2 of them will be pretty in-depth reviews. We're going to review Falcon and Winter Soldier thus far into the season, and Godzilla versus Kong, the movie that dropped last week. So the first topic we're talking about, though, which unfortunately for Berto, he has not seen a single episode of Invincible. But that's okay, Berto. You can stick around. Invincible was a show that dropped a week or so ago, and it is a cartoon series on Amazon Plus, on Amazon Prime, created by the original comics created by Robert Kirkman, and is brought to Amazon via Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen. So the people that brought Preacher to life brought this comic to life. So it is I have the first 2 graphic novel volumes, and this is a fucking brutal comic book. It is super violent, but also super fun. I mean, if you take a look at the main character there at the bottom of the screen, it doesn't look like it'd be a violent comic. It looks like it would be.
That's why I was confused when I saw it. I was like, this kind of looks like a generic.
Looks like it'd be on fucking par with fucking Quail Man.
Yes, that's exactly what
I thought. But also, like, Roberto, you okay with us fucking probably like destroying everything that happens on this fucking show?
Yeah, no,
if you haven't watched it yet.
It's okay. I don't mind.
Well, this will be a kind of quick. This is just, again, I just want first impressions of the show, what you guys like about it, what you don't. So, Berto can just chime in with like questions about like, what is it about? Because I want to know.
What is it about? I want to know.
Mark Wahlberg, mostly.
We'll go to Matt first. What do you think about Invincible thus far? I know you've read a couple of the books.
Yeah, so I'm really enjoying this. The first couple episodes that just came out. Obviously, it's done by Robert Kirkman, creator of The Walking Dead, along with Corey Walker was his artist on the book, as well as Ryan Otley. Corey Walker actually does all the character designs for the show, which is really interesting. So they brought him back on. So far, it's pretty much just like the original first couple trades or issues of the book, which is interesting to see. Having read the first 5 trades of it, I wasn't as surprised as probably most people were at the end of episode 1. But yeah, I really have been enjoying the show. I think the animation hasn't been as good as it could be, especially since it's Amazon. They have all the money in the world. But it is fun to see this character brought to life along with his supporting cast. And it's fun to see a bunch of the Walking Dead actors come in and do like bit roles on the show.
Right. Yeah, because Stephen Yeun, who played what was his character name? Glenn in The Walking Dead. Yeah, he voices the main character, Mark, who is Invincible is his name. But it was fun to see him get to bring the character to life. He definitely represents the character very well. Like hearing him, his voice is perfect for it.
It's pretty perfect. And then like you have some of the Guardians in the first episode are all Walking Dead alums as well. So
really,
like kind of go on the IMDb to check out who's who.
Like which characters from Walking Dead were brought in? Because I didn't even notice that. But
so Maggie, who was played by Lauren Cohen, plays Warrior Woman. I think is her
Oh, really?
or Warrior Queen, and she's like one of the guardians. So it's all the characters that like are in the first episode only.
Mhm.
That are a bunch of Walking Dead alums besides Stephen Young.
They just showed up in Georgia. They're like, let's just do the voice really quick, guys. Come
yeah,
in.
like I think Kirkman was just like, hey, do you guys want to do this real quick for me? That'd be great.
Yeah. Berto, little background for you. This comic, this show, it basically like takes every superhero character you've ever seen in any show or any movie or anything, and like has their own funny versions of them. Like Warrior Woman is just Wonder Woman, but she's like there's the what's the fish guy's name?
I don't remember.
There's like instead of Aquaman, it's literally just a giant fish man. Like it's like just the goofiest thing ever. That's what the Guardians of the Globe are, and it's pretty funny. They're basically your Justice League in this universe, but they
don't exist in the same universe as anyone else.
No.
They're not like outcasts or anything. Like
no. These are just these are basically the most like stupid or like extremely violent versions of characters you can imagine. Like there's the Green Ghost instead of the Green Lantern, which is it's like a mucus, like an alien mucus that like the chick throws in her mouth and it like comes over her like it's like she looks like Green Man when Charlie's being Green Man and Always Sunny. But it's pretty funny. And Nelly, I know you've never read this comic, but what'd you think of the season thus far? Is it the action fun? The story's good?
Yeah, it's like the animation feels like it's like something you'd watch back in fucking like 7th grade, like the like WB, like it except obviously fucking like bloody and gory. I don't know. Yeah, it's just in the story, it's kind of weird. Like I couldn't really. We're probably gonna get into it, but like what happens in the first episode, kind of leaves you wondering, like did he know about like was something controlling the guy, or whatever, or was he doing it on his own accord?
Right. So there's a big mystery in the first episode ends on a cliffhanger, Berto. I guess we're just telling you because you haven't seen it, but the first episode ends on a cliffhanger where like crazy shit goes.
Do the whole episode for me, just
crazy shit. No, crazy shit. I want you to watch it because I think you really like it. But crazy shit goes down, and it's like holy shit! Like because the whole episode's kind of like fun and like the kid Mark, his dad is a character named Omni-Man, who is your basic Superman character, like can fly, super strong, like all this stuff. He's an alien from another planet, so it's literally
but he's not part of the fucking Guardians of the fucking Globe.
Right. So the Guardians of the Globe are like the Justice League, and he's kind of like, I'm on my own. I don't really want to help you guys. Like I'll help you guys out when there's a big crisis, but I'm not being a part of your club, sort of thing. And then his son Mark develops his powers on like his when he's like 18 or whatever, however the hell old he is. So like the whole thing is like he doesn't have powers, but he wants them, and then he gets them, and it's like so he starts getting trained. So it's kind of like a fun show in the beginning. There's no real violence or anything like that, and then crazy shit goes down at the end of the first episode. You're like, this show is fucking brutal. Like, do you like The Boys, Berto?
Yeah, I did. I kind of like that. Yeah.
So the Invincible is as violent as The Boys, but animated. So it's fucking crazy. So I think you definitely dig it.
It sounds like something like I didn't even realize that. Seth Rogen and what's his name?
Evan Goldberg.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they were.
Did Seth Rogen do the voice of the fucking
alien guy
that he meets on the fucking moon? Whatever. He's like,
Alan,
I thought this was fucking you were, or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
is this with a U or an E?
He shows. Yeah, Seth Rogen obviously he does like a cameo as a character called Alan the Alien, who's pretty funny. He like shows up to
Seth Rogen.
You don't hear him laugh, but you just hear Seth Rogen doing the voice. It's pretty funny. But he's good.
He'll probably be coming back later on. I think he's he's like a supporting character on the comic.
Using your timeout.
How long was the
I got a timeout
for?
That's a good question. I know that there's at least like 8 volumes of books. I don't know how many. How long that spanned? Probably 8 years.
It started like 2003 or 2004, I want to say, and it finished up like around 2018.
Oh,
yeah.
So
it was out. It was out for a while.
Did Kirkman start the Walking Dead book around 2003 or a little?
Yeah, he was writing this in adjacent to it.
Yes, so he was doing back and forth on this during that time.
But It's good though. You'll like it. It's like I said, it's a good blend of humor mixed in with like just like super unreal violence that you wouldn't expect from like this kind of show. So
That's sweet.
but I like it. I'm a big fan of it so far. And there's four episodes out right now, or 3?
Four. The first 3 dropped on 2 weeks ago, and then the 4th one dropped last week.
Right. It's good to it drops every Friday, Berto. So it's good to watch it in conjunction with Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I need some, like, because it's not enough to just have that one thing. You never know how long an episode of a Disney Plus show is going to be, so it could be short, could be a little longer. I need some extra shit to put on after.
Yeah, this show is good. This show is good. Actually, this season it blends a lot of stuff that's good that happens between the first volume that I have and the second volume. Like the stories are kind of like mixing, but that's fine because again, this, like you said, Matt, like I think he's kind of polishing the story to like be like, this is better.
Right.
Like when I was only getting one shot at this, I just wrote the story like this, but it's going to work out. It's good. I'm telling you, this season finale is going to be nuts when you guys get a chance to see it. So,
like the end of that last episode that just came out, like obviously if you read the graphic novel or whatever, so you probably know, but like, like you see like the fucking thing in the test tube or whatever. It's like, what the fuck is
tank?
That? Yeah.
The tank. Yeah, that's like a well, I don't want to spoil what it is, but it's basically like it's controlling robot or the character robot or whatever the hell.
Like, I was gonna say, because like when one of the episodes when I think he's talking to like fucking Monster Girl or whatever, and he's like, she's like, yo, you wouldn't understand. You're a robot or something like that. You just could tell it's like there's something weird there because he's not like a fucking total robot. Like he's like,
right.
I don't know.
And that's Zachary Quinto, right? Voice and Robot.
Yeah.
The guy from Siler and Spock.
yeah, Spock.
And then the end of that last episode when they show like the fucking closet with the whatever the fucking Hellboy fucking rip-off character.
Yeah, that character.
Are they zooming in on the book? Is that what they're zooming in on? I couldn't really tell. Like they're in the fucking closet. And it like pans out.
It's his journal, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a way for him to come back. That character. So he's like a combination of like John Constantine and Hellboy. So it's like he's got the goddamn the tan trench coat and he's literally just that's why the show's great because they're like, we know these characters exist in other mediums. We're just gonna take two characters that are like somewhat similar and smash them together.
It was like an awful fucking like onesie under the fucking trench coat. Like what? Like why does he wear like a fucking onesie?
Man, you don't know what kind of fashion they have in hell. You don't know what kind of fashion they have in hell.
Like I don't know.
It looks like a mocap suit. Like you think like Josh Brolin walking around backstage as Thanos. Like you can see those images. He's in like a mocap suit and then he's got a trench coat on.
I just don't get it. So it's like awful. That's like my one main gripe with that show is that fucking onesie that he wears under the fucking trench coat.
I think the show's great, but that you're right. I agree that the design of that character is a little goofy, but I think it's supposed to be, so.
Like he's got a fucking detective fucking hat on. Like he's got the fucking hat. He's got the jacket. Then he's got a fucking like wake up on Christmas morning fucking onesie. Like I don't understand. He's got like a fucking pajama suit on. I don't understand.
you can't judge what maybe it helps keep him in this plane of reality.
Couldn't they just make him like furry or something?
You don't know. Maybe he's jumping over to the grid and he needs to have his Tron suit on. But
I don't know. Maybe it's flame retardant when he comes from hell. I don't know.
Maybe. All right, that's going to wrap up Invincible talk. Without Berto seeing it, I don't want to spoil anything for him. So that'll jump into a topic that he knows. We're going to talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier. So this series obviously dropped a couple weeks ago. We've had 3 episodes thus far. I'm not going to lie. The first episode didn't really wow me that much. I was kind of I liked parts of it. I liked the Bucky story, but it really wasn't until this last episode was the first one that really fucking I was like, oh, this show's great. I thought the second episode was better than the first, but this third one's really the one that I was like, I'm on board. This show is amazing. So we'll kick it to Berto. What did you think about Falcon and Winter Soldier thus far, and what was your favorite episode?
I dig it so far. It's definitely more my speed than like WandaVision, which I did enjoy. It's just WandaVision was probably I think one of the most creative things I've seen so far, but this is pretty within the realm of the like other stuff, pretty straightforward. I was pretty pumped to see Batroc come back in the first
Mhm.
episode. I love MMA, so it's cool to see George St. Pierre make a return with his goofy French accent. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's kind of silly at times, like the first episode. It was just really funny that the Falcon can fly like as fast as an airplane, but somehow has trouble catching guys in wingsuits flying around. But I just kind of ignored that. But I like it. It was cool to see Bucky kind of pretend to be the Winter Soldier in the last episode and kind of go full on, like, because I miss seeing how vicious he used to be,
Right.
So it was nice to see him kind of go back to beating ass like that, like old school.
Right.
But yeah, I dig it.
I agree with you. So like I said, I've liked every episode, but the first episode didn't really wow me. But this last episode, I didn't realize how much I missed Bucky being fucking crazy and going nuts too.
You forget how much of a crazy man he was, like he was so dangerous, and now he's just like constantly wisecracking with Sam, like.
Well, I think the last couple movies, like Civil, he had some good fight scenes in Civil War, but really the Avengers movies, he hasn't done it. You've just seen him shooting things, right? Like that's really been like he picked up Rocket for like the shot. That wasn't even that cool though, like so. To me, seeing him go, because you forget that he went toe to toe with Steve, and like honestly, kind of kicked the shit out of him. I know Steve wasn't like trying to hurt Bucky, but like he was the Terminator in Winter Soldier, and to see him go all out in that last episode, even if he wasn't trying to kill people, just to see him like actually like fucking people up, I was like, oh man, I love Winter Soldier. I'm so glad he's beating ass again.
Yeah. But yeah, I like it. I like Wyatt Russell. I like him in anything,
what's funny about Wyatt Russell is he's right off the bat, the guy's like, everyone's like, I can't believe this son of a bitch is pretending to be Captain America. He's getting all this shit online, but like honestly, his acting in the role is good. So he's deserving the criticisms that he's getting. You know what I mean?
He's not supposed to be liked. I mean,
right.
You know who U.S. Agent is. Like, it's all leading to something not so good. Like, what do you expect? Like, anyone who's assuming the role of Captain America is supposed to be a source of conflict for the main characters. Like,
right.
Let it play out.
So again, but his face, I couldn't help the memes. He looked just like the old man from Up.
Yeah.
When he puts on that Captain America hood. But Matt, I know you're a huge comic guy, big Marvel fan. What have you thought of Winter Soldier or Falcon and Winter Soldier thus far?
This is my effing favorite show right now. The three Captain America movies are probably my favorite of the Marvel MCU movies to date, and the interaction that Falcon and Bucky had in like Civil War was just like what I really enjoyed that play, because it's very much the childhood friend meeting the college friend, and like they're friends with the same guy, but like they don't get along really. But they just be they're friendly towards each other just for Steve. I mean, this series is very much heavily influenced by like the Ed Brubaker run that was done like about over 10 years ago now. So it, which I was also a big fan of. And also they're adding in elements from a bunch of other Captain America storylines throughout the years, like Truth, Red, White, and Black, and as well as obviously the John Walker 80s run from that time period.
Yeah, no, it's definitely awesome. I loved the inclusion of Elijah was crazy. I didn't even think that would happen in this series, right. So to see that character play out like that, and to not even think that it would even happen, for him to pop up in the storyline. Yeah. Of course it was going to happen. Why wouldn't it? Like, Bucky has all this knowledge that none of these other characters has. So like you could literally tie him.
You're talking about the other super soldier, the one who's killing. Yeah. What's up with him? I did not see that. I don't know anything about him. I never really, got into the comics and stuff. I just know, the movies mostly.
Well, they did a good job of summing him up. He basically was like the test subject. So they were like, we're not going to inject. Basically, the line was, we're not going to inject this into like somebody we care about. So we're going to use you as a guinea pig. And when it worked, they would send him to all like everything Cap wanted to do in like in the first Cap movie where he was like, I want to go fight the fight and save these people and
when he
get
was too
behind the
busy
lines.
putting on
Yeah.
shows and
But they were
stuff
like, no,
that.
we need you to be like the poster child. We're going to send this other guy that we don't give a shit about into like the battlefield. And then they just stick him in jail and start like taking blood from him. Like it's actually a pretty crazy story. And I don't know how involved he's going to be in the story moving forward.
I hope he comes back. I hope he does at least something.
I mean, these Disney Plus series are the perfect place to like kind of do those shows, to do a full show around him too. So who knows? But
I like that he's still super strong because it gives me hope that, like, you know, obviously we're probably not going to see Cap come back ever, but I just want to see old man Captain America fight, you know, like it would be so sick. But
dude, he was like 108.
yeah,
like
he's still stronger than a regular dude. So I just want, it's cool to see an old man version of a super soldier still strong, you know.
You want to see like Gran Torino, but if the guy was a super soldier.
Yeah, exactly. yeah, exactly.
I liked everything thus far with all that backstory there. But one thing in the first episode that I love, and Nelly, I made Nelly watch them today, and I was like, he's like, do I have to watch the first episode? I'm like, you probably you can go back and watch it, but honestly, I'm like, most of the cool shit happens in 2 and 3. So, yeah. But one thing that I did like was I liked Bucky's backstory a little bit better, like him having to do his list and like trying to make amends with all the people he wronged as the Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah.
That was really cool. And then just the poor bastard, he's had so much wrong with him in life.
I don't think I would do that. I think I would just be like, look, man, I was under mind control. Let's not make it any worse with people. Like, I wouldn't want to do that.
You wouldn't insert yourself into some random guy's life.
Yeah, no.
Whose son you murdered.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Yeah.
no thanks.
Nelly, what was your favorite? I know you only watched 2 and 3. What stood out to you in the second?
I don't know. So obviously, being a Disney show, they had to fucking insert some of the fucking wokeness. Like, so fucking anything with that, I fucking can't stand. It's like, obviously they do like the racial profiling in the fucking middle of the street when they come out of the fucking onto the street and all that bullshit. But yeah, putting that aside, I mean, I can't get over it. Like, that Captain America was just fucking awful. Just fucking, it was just like, he's like got like a fucking underbite. He's fucking horrible. He's like they couldn't come up with somebody that like, fucking, I know it's like coronavirus and shit. They couldn't come up with like a remotely better fucking portrayal of fucking someone playing that role.
That's
I don't know.
Kurt Russell's son, man. Have some respect.
That's Kurt Russell's son.
I don't give a shit who he is. He fucking sucks. He was fucking.
My
like,
question.
then there's,
sorry, go ahead.
there's the part with fucking Black Falcon. He comes down and he fucking. It's when they're on top of the.
Black Falcon.
Isn't that his fucking name?
They call him that though. They call him that.
They say, "Oh, we'll call you Black Kid." How about that? Like, Black Falcon. He's like, yeah. Anyway, when they're fighting the fucking orc guy on the fucking top of the fucking tractor trailer, which also I'll get into that one. Yeah, orc guy. Yeah. That's all I could think about when I was fucking watching that.
I think crossed my mind as well.
At the speed he comes flying down, that fucking Maya Rudolph looking fucking girl with the red hair, fucking she comes flying down, right? At the speed he was coming down, he should have fucking sent that girl a fucking quarter fucking mile. She moves like a half an inch. Like, that girl would go flying off that thing.
Yeah.
She is a super soldier.
Yeah.
But the speed
that doesn't
he was
stop you.
fucking,
That doesn't stop you from getting knocked around. But
I mean, I don't know.
This dude, all I know is, and I knew that they were gonna, but it seems like once every episode we're gonna be getting like a pretty substantial like action set piece.
Yeah.
Because that truck fight was like movie quality good.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
I mean, the whole series is.
It definitely is. Yeah.
No, you're right. Like, even the scope of like even just regular settings look way cool. I mean, that's what Disney wanted to do with this. They were like,
Hell yeah,
we're gonna do movie qualities on a TV show, and that's. I don't even know how much it costs for these shows. They don't have any idea.
I think it's like the same amount as like the movies. It's like 200 million they're putting.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
They're putting in like the exact same amount that they put in for the movies.
Yeah, just
that
broken
is
up into
nuts. That is nuts.
It looks
Oh.
it definitely shows, you know, it just looks like they go through the exact same process that they would use to shoot the movie, you know.
But you know what?
Why not, you know?
That explains why in this entire third episode they're like, all right, Sam, you're walking the whole episode.
Yeah,
we can't have you
money.
The other thing too, it's like supposed to, like the beginning where they like announce like the new fucking Captain America or whatever. It's like they like I was kept looking and looking. I'm like, I thought all I could see was like the little fucking like hand flags that people had. I was like, it's Captain America. You literally don't have any fucking American flags anywhere. Like you all the field.
What's a hand flag? What's a hand? Oh,
like the
waving?
fucking little fucking yeah.
Oh.
But like there was no fucking American flags anywhere. You like had like the fucking A on the shit. But like if there really was like a Captain America, they'd be like actual like American flags. Like I know like it's Disney, China. We're not allowed to show the American flag, but like
is that a thing?
I don't think it is. But
you're talking about the high school scene when they're in the on the football field.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice it either.
All they had was one little. Well, you could see like for like 2 seconds, like in the stands, like people had like the little fucking flags in the hand, but there was like no.
You thought they should have like a big like American flag that they were passing around? Well, they wanted to get they wanted to keep their eyes on Cap.
I mean, what's the second word of his fucking name? I mean,
that is definitely something you would notice for sure.
That's tan. It's Cap Tan.
Tan. Well, that's a pretty good observation. I did not notice that.
I didn't notice it either. But one thing about him and Matt, you know better than I, because I never read any of the U.S. agent storyline. So, like, is he?
I haven't either. Like, I just know it from like having read the comics and stuff. Like, just more like his like story in like. I haven't actually read him as Captain America before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, like, I know like he was like kind of the dick Captain America, and stuff like that.
Where is U.S. agent a bad guy?
Well,
he's just more of like the government guy rather than how Steve is as Captain America. He's very much more stands for like the like truth, justice, in the American way, whereas like
Superman and Batman and Dark Knight Returns, right? Like more of just like a shill for the government.
Yeah, like that's how like John Walker is. He's very much more by the book. Like I work for the government, whereas Steve kind of like stands for all the American
underdogs
attributes.
Right. You're right. Yeah, you can see that in the performance too. That's literally like almost all of his dialogue is like basically from like that same script. So
I have to assume that at some point he's gonna get his hands on the super soldier serum. Like
that's what I think too.
He'll enhance himself at some point.
I think so too. I think it's gonna be. I mean, you've seen in the trailers that they definitely get the shield back because you see Sam practicing with it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I would assume that they like basically like have a confrontation. He gets his ass handed to him by fucking Bucky and Sam, and he's like, and then they take the shield. They're like, you don't fucking deserve this, because he's obviously gonna do something that's gonna be like super like that's not what fucking Steve would have done, and then he's like, well, he's gonna just inject himself with something. He's gonna go all off on him, but.
And obviously, like the end of the series is already leading to Sam becoming the Captain America from that run from a couple years ago that Nick Spencer did.
So my question with this is like, none of them like Sam never gets a super soldier serum as far as I know, right?
No, he doesn't.
And so John Walker doesn't have it. Like these guys, I mean, not Sam necessarily because he does have his Falcon shtick too, but like. Yeah. Wouldn't he just be getting his ass handed to him in every fight, like against?
Well, he's still like like they're both military trained guys, right? So it's still that, but like, yeah, it's still there is like in the books, like Sam does have that like hindrance of like he's not strong as Steve was, and like, but like he does have like so in the comics, like he does have like he has an updated version of his Falcon suit, which is just he still has the wings. But he also carries the shield, and like he just wears like a Captain America style Falcon suit.
Right. So, I mean, like I said, I know he can compete with these super soldier type people because like the advantage of the tech, right?
Yeah.
But I see John Walker and I see him throw his fucking shield to like perfectly have somebody land on it. I'm like, this dude doesn't have any kind of enhancement. Like that's impossible that he would have timed that perfectly.
Right. And I think that's like
buddy land on it.
And I think that's kind of like what Bucky and Sam's thing is too, as well as like just like you're not you're not Captain America. B, you don't have the super soldier serum, and B, you're just doing this because the government wants you to do this.
Right.
So there's not like basically you're a good soldier, but like you're not. We don't know you as the man you are, like we did Steve.
Right.
Well, like, why do they have to have somebody like take up the name of like Captain America? Like, why wouldn't they like just be like, we're gonna like retire Captain America, and you can be like someone else. Like, we'll give you another
American
name.
Soldier, something like that. Exactly. I think it's because the name has power. So like,
yeah, it's like the symbol aspect of it, something to give people hope.
Yeah.
Which I would just assume they'd just have. I did like when he was prepping to go talk to people at the high school that they kind of made reference to the Star Spangled Man with a Plan, like in the first Captain America when Steve Rogers is really frustrated with the fact that he's basically just a touring. He's a side
show. Yeah, he's a show.
Yeah. He's a propaganda piece.
That's all he was, is a propaganda piece. I like that they made reference to that, but seemingly they made him do that appearance, and then they were like, "All right, go out and do whatever you want. Go fight crime."
Well, it seems like more like he's giving orders, he's like following like what Sam and Bucky are doing, like with the whole Flag Smasher stuff. So like he's kind of giving orders, like check to see what these guys are doing right now.
Yeah, no, literally that's the thing. He's like we're just following them around, which leads to the awesome part of episode 3, or all of episode 3, where they bust. I had no idea they were going to bust Zemo out and have him be like a member of the crew. Like that totally caught me by surprise. I thought for sure when they showed up, like Zemo was going to like just kind of not necessarily get inside like Bucky's head. But I was glad they did the thing with where he was using the trigger words. Yeah, and they just
wait, can he still control him? Is that what?
No, he can't.
He got deprogrammed by the Wakandans.
The Wakandans,
yeah. They fixed his brain.
Because that's the one thing about
White Wolf or whatever the fuck his name was.
Winter Soldier is that seemingly after Wakanda, they give him 100% trust again, to the point where they kind of just let him walk around wherever he wants. Like, is he a government employee, or is he just like a buddy of everybody? Like, they let him walk around jails, restricted sites, just follow Sam into places.
He's
what
like
kind of clearance does this fucking guy have? Like, he seems to just stroll around wherever he wants. Like,
he's Avenger adjacent. People are like, oh yeah, all right, like friends of a friend. You're like, hey, yo, my buddy knows you. You run this bar. Let me in. You know Jerry. You know Jerry.
He fought in World War II. He deserves to go around wherever he wants to.
No, I agree.
The big Thanos battle in Infinity War. So I mean, he's a veteran of that too.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right.
I thought you meant like, why is he just walking around Wakanda? I was like, well, he really didn't do anything to any of the Wakandans.
So. That's what I was picturing too. That's what I thought you meant.
He was framed by Zemo, but but I love that Zemo is like a member of the crew. I expected Zemo to bust out of jail after the interaction with them somehow, and then he was going to be just like the foil going forward.
Like, I thought like he was already out of jail. Like he had already busted out. Like I felt like that was always going to be the big thing. Like he was leading the Flag Smashers or something.
What is that date he always says in the fucking? He's like December 2nd. I have no idea what it was.
It was 19.
Mission report.
That was
Mission report. 1993.
But what was up with the fucking mask? Like, why do you have to like put the mask on for like that 30-second fucking?
Because it's comic accurate, man. It's comic accurate. I love that.
I like how much of a baller that dude is. Like, the minute he gets out of jail, he just calls up his old resources. Like,
he calls up his butler.
I'd be so pissed off if I was in jail knowing that I was that much of a fucking pimp. Like, if I had that kind of cash, like, oh my God, like,
dude, how about the fact that like in Civil War, you're like, this guy's like ex-military, like he was like a good guy, like he hunted down Hydra agents, right? Yeah. And then this horrible thing happens and he goes all this way, but without blinking an eye in this series, all of a sudden they're like, oh, by the way, he's a Baron's son, he's super rich. And you're like, all right. Let's go. We'll just go with that. We're just gonna peruse right over that, but no big deal because I'm along for the ride.
Like Prince William and Prince Harry, they both served in the
like Desert
Queen's
Royal
Army
Guard,
or whatever. So Royal Guard.
Yeah, I'm sure they saw a lot of combat too. No, but like he did. So it's just so funny that he's like, oh, I'm a Baron's son. And I'm just like, yep. all right, that's where the Baron Zemo comes from. And then Sam literally calls him Baron Zemo later. I'm like, all right, we're just gonna literally use dialogue to get there, but that's okay. I'm here.
That's cool. No, I like the fact that he's so rich. Like a rich character is such a great device to be able to do more shit quickly and stuff. You know, like that whole I bought the bank thing. You know, like,
It's like, what's your superpower? I'm rich.
Yeah. I'm rich, bitch.
No, I liked it. I like that he. So obviously they go. You run into Sharon Carter again, which is. I mean, obviously she's the power broker, right? Is that what we're going to do?
That was my theory as well. Yeah, that's what
So she's just been on the run since
Civil War.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because she stole all the. She helped out Steve and Falcon.
All for that. Like she helped them get the wingsuit back and all that stuff, and then she's still on the run throughout Infinity War. And did she get snapped or anything like that, or she's just been like, oh wow?
No, so like she's just been on the run, and she's doing let's also mention like they're in Madripoor, which is part of the X-Men stuff.
Yeah, isn't that Wolverine's place?
Yeah.
Yeah, that place is crazy.
And it's on. I was just reading about Madripoor. Like I just read like a bunch of facts about it. It said it was it's made on the head of a sleeping dragon or something crazy like that. Like.
Oh man, is that not Fu Manchu? Is that his name?
Fing Fang Foom?
Fing Fang Foom.
No, Fing Fang Foom is just an alien dragon. That's all. It's not an earthly dragon.
It's pretty funny. I bet I like Madripoor. I like the way it looked. It was really cool.
A sorcerer is just the fucking same as a fucking wizard, except he doesn't have a fucking hat.
Yes, I can't believe they got away with saying "fucking" so many times on that show.
I don't even think they don't. They didn't say. Is he making jokes?
No, they just said like shit.
All right. I was like, wait, is it rated R? I don't think I've heard the F bombs.
I was going by Nelly's quote.
I love that though. I love the whole. He's like, you know who Gandalf is? His eyes like popped up. Like we can talk about Lord of the Rings.
How do you know Gandalf? I read the book.
Yeah,
I read the book in
1933.
1933. Yeah, I think the show is great. I love Bucky getting some leg room.
37.
But
I just know that because I just watched it like an hour ago.
But yeah, I like it. I actually thought Zemo was gonna like ditch them because you see him run away from them and when they get shot at in the streets.
And he comes back in a fucking convertible.
Yeah, he came back, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe he came back. Like, why is he still with these dudes?
It's crazy.
I think it's because like he's still kind of honorable.
He
still has this. Guy. He has this mission of like trying to take out the super soldiers. So like that's like his goal.
Wouldn't he ultimately put him in the put him in Bucky at odds then? Because
I think he will. I think that's a given.
I'm like gonna be sad to see Zemo go bad again.
He's gonna. He has to. I mean, it's like the friggin' frog and the scorpion. He's still a bad guy, but even though his intentions are good, he's got all the earmarks of a villain. Like he's so obsessed with his mission to the point where he'll pretty much do anything. Like, which is funny because he's trying to get rid of super soldiers, and it's like, bro, you kind of lost already. You got Thor, you got Spider-Man, you got people out there who are way more powerful. Like, it's a lost cause. But
yeah, well, because I mean, even in the trailers, he's like, no more superheroes. Like that's like his whole shtick. So it's like, well, what are you gonna do, man? You're putting on a mask and becoming a super villain. It's not any different.
He takes on Disney.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see how it wraps up. I definitely, like I said, episode 3 was by far my favorite. I was like, oh my god, I'm fucking. This show, take all my money, which you already have. But
are there plans for like that? Anything that you guys have heard of any other characters popping into this? Like, because they mentioned Doctor Strange and they mentioned other people, but are there rumors of anybody else popping in at any point, or is it mostly just going to center around them?
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about other characters, but I mean, they were in fucking Latvia. So when that happened, I was like, holy shit, Doctor Doom. Like, where is he? He didn't pop up, obviously, but.
Well, like they introduced Isaiah Bradley, who's like the 1950s Captain America, and then they also introduced Eli Bradley, who is his grandson, who becomes Patriot in the comics, and he's part of the Young Avengers team.
Oh, okay.
So like that's like obviously like they're setting up like Young Avengers at some point with like the twins in WandaVision, Kate Bishop showing up in Hawkeye, stuff like that.
Right. Man, they really have they have everything planned out. These shows are gonna be great, and they just dropped that Loki trailer for like the you kind of get an idea what the show is a little bit more now.
Yeah,
that looks good too. That looks really
Loki
good.
on Skull Island.
Loki on Skull Island. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well, he was on
shit.
Skull Island. That's the
Forgot about
connection. All right. Any final thoughts on Winter Soldier or Falcon? I keep wanting to say just Winter Soldier, but Falcon and Winter Soldier thus far, guys.
It's great. You should
Good,
watch
yeah.
it
Yeah.
if you're not watching it.
More Batroc.
Yep. All right. Well, let's gonna roll us into what should be a pretty quick topic here. But they announced that the director of Kong's Godzilla vs. Kong, Adam Wingard, is doing a Thundercats movie, which is
Same guy. Okay.
anybody who's. I mean, I'm a massive '80s fan, so like '80s cartoons were my jam when I was a kid. So this is so up my alley. It's not even funny. I've been waiting for somebody to do something with Thundercats, and I'm pretty excited, but I don't know what to expect from a live action Thundercats. I don't even know if they announced it was live action. But.
Yeah, did you ever see like the fan trailer for it like a couple years ago? It's like almost like a decade ago where they like someone like spliced together all this footage and like they had like Brad Pitt as Lion-O.
Yeah, but it was from
Troy.
Troy, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I saw this.
And they had Vin Diesel as Panthro.
Yeah.
From Riddick.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I love Thundercats, so I'm on board for this shit. But what do you guys think, Berto? What are your thoughts on Thundercats?
I don't know anything about Thundercats. You know, and it's funny when you just flash the logo. So many things just went through my head where I've seen that sticker on people's cars for many years and never knew what it was. Like, I didn't even know Thundercats. Like you say, it was on when we were kids, apparently, as a show.
I mean, I'm the youngest of 8 kids. So
right.
my youth was literally whatever my older siblings were watching, and they watched a lot of 80s cartoons. So Transformers, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, He-Man, all that shit
It ended in '89.
Oh yeah, you did the history.
It's the first from the first 3 minutes I watched from that.
Yeah, because I slept on that hardcore, man. I don't know.
Basically.
It wasn't really on TV like for the most part when I was a kid. Yeah. Like I think it was on like Cartoon Network at a certain point, but like I just didn't have Cartoon Network at that time.
Well, they remade the series in like the mid 2000s, and it was updated animations and like an actual like more flushed out story. It was pretty cool. I actually really liked it.
I remember it was like
it only lasted one season.
Yeah,
it only lasted one season.
Like it was on there around that time. I think it was like 2011. Because I remember I was working at Newbury Comics at the time, and like we got the toys in for that show, and like they went on discount as soon as the show ended because no one watched the show.
Yeah,
hilarious.
The basic premise of this show is like have you seen He-Man? I assume you guys know He-Man, right?
Yeah,
I know what it is. Never seen it.
Well, basically, it's like
I thought it was all the same show at one point.
Yeah, Nelly thought it was the same show. He's like Beastman's in Thundercats, right? I'm like, no.
I thought it was all one and the same.
But no. So the basic premise of this show is like there are these. It's this race of cat people, like sorry, sounds stupid, and they're traveling.
Avatar.
They like escape their home world, which is like in whatever whatever it is. There's only like 5 characters, right? And they crash on this other planet, and on this planet they basically set up like their base to try and survive. But
Thundera.
Thundera is where they were from, but they crash and they like basically awaken like this like evil spirit that lives there, which is Mum-Ra, the ever living.
Oh, okay, I've heard of him.
So he the basic premise is he's like trying to like overthrow them or something along the lines like that, and they basically like band together to fight off his fucking forces and like kind of free the planet that they've crashed on, which is enslaved by him. So it's a pretty cool series. It's definitely very it's very 80s and very, very fantasy sci-fi. So if you're into Thor Ragnarok, then you'll probably like Thundercats, the movie.
Oh, speaking of Mum-Ra, it just made me think of fucking back to Invincible. They just showed the fucking
the mummy guy.
And then it didn't show him again, right?
Yeah, they sealed him away.
They did?
Yeah, the thing dropped and sealed him in. He never got out.
Oh, so she's saying that was pointless?
Yeah, it was just supposed to be like a tease, like a joke.
Oh.
Yeah.
It might come back later. Who knows? But yeah, so this show is going to be. You guys obviously have the worst panel to have for Thundercats talk. So,
yeah.
But I'm excited for this, and I think a lot of people out there will be too, because this
like
is
cat people. You say,
cat people.
Isn't that gonna like? what was that movie? Was it the movie fucking Cats? And then they tried to make it a live action movie with fucking cats, and it was fucking god awful.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah,
like,
these
I don't
cats fight with swords.
They have special moves.
So I don't know. I just find it hard to like imagine like a live action like Catman running around. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, you can see like he doesn't he doesn't really look like a cat, you know. He just looks like a barbarian. He's just got fucking cat ears and shit that you can't see.
Very, very 80s. I love that.
And I mean that's like a really updated photo of it too. Obviously, somebody
That
rendered
looks like
that
Jim
thing.
Lee.
Yeah, it does.
It's pretty fucking cool. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm very excited for the show, and I think you guys will like it, or movie, whatever the hell it's. I think you guys will like it when it comes out, if it ever comes out. This seems like one of those things, like He-Man, where they're like, we're trying to do it for years, and you're never going to get another one. So, Thor Ragnarok might be the closest thing to an '80s live action movie you're ever going to see again.
I feel like they'd be better off making like a Beowulf fucking type of animation, like super realistic, as opposed to using like live action people. I don't know.
I guess it depends what they're trying to bring in. If they think an animated movie probably won't do it, that's probably why they think live action people will be like, holy shit, live action Thundercats. But it could look terrible. I mean, I don't even know who they'd cast. I don't know anyone they could cast to be fucking Jason Momoa as Lion-O.
Oh, there you go.
No, I don't know. I mean, honestly, you'd be if you don't get The Rock to be Panthro, that's a fucking big mistake. He's already bald. He's already fucking huge and jacked.
The Rock isn't a secondary character.
Yeah.
He doesn't play second fiddle.
That's true. You get Kevin Hart to be fucking Lion-O, maybe you get him on board.
Oh god.
Yeah, what's his face from fucking Fantastic Four? Michael Chiklis.
Oh,
Michael Chiklis to be Panthro. No, he's too old.
That guy is a human potato.
He's great though. He was actually a pretty good Ben Grimm. I think we talked about this before on this channel, but like
I mentioned it.
He was actually pretty good. If he comes back to voice the Thing in like the new Fantastic Four that they make, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
But all right, that's gonna take us to our final topic today, guys, and that is obviously Godzilla vs. Kong has dropped on HBO Max and in theaters. This movie is actually being touted as the one that might break the movie theaters out of their slump too, because it has made $285 million overseas right now, 48.5 million domestically, for a grand total of $330.5 million, which is the biggest haul that any movie's made since the pandemic. So
yeah, that probably covered the budget, I would assume.
Yeah, I think they're probably in out of the red now.
Yeah,
I don't know how much more money they're going to bring in from that, and then hopefully HBO, Max viewings give them something. But
I mean, it's only been 5 or 6 days,
right. But I mean, obviously Godzilla is huge overseas in Japan, China, and stuff. So I think that no matter what, they were going to have a pretty good haul there. But 285 is massive, So
yeah,
because I think King of the Monsters didn't do that well, even overseas, which is surprising because you get like the fucking big three Godzilla characters, and you're not gonna. I thought that movie would have done gangbusters, but this one is already done better, I think. So
it makes me wonder, like with HBO Max, like how many new subscribers they've had since like the fucking Justice League fucking thing, and then the King Kong movie, like in the last couple weeks. I
don't know how many subscribers, but I know that they're up. Actually, I do know they're up 60% of their subscribers from wherever it was. So that's like a massive amount of people coming in to see it. Which I think it said there's something like 113 million people signed up for HBO Max.
Damn.
So, which is like they didn't think they were going to hit those numbers until 2024. So clearly they have these movies being released on HBO Max is a very good idea for Warner Brothers and for HBO Max. The film creators are actually pretty bummed, I imagine, that the films aren't getting released in theaters. But I mean,
it's a pandemic. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I know. I mean, even Black Widow finally was like, all right, we're going to release on Disney Plus. No shit. You should have done it a fucking year ago, man. This is like...
I forgot all about that movie. Like, did they already fucking release it? What the fuck?
It's the middle of the summer.
July 7th.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, but they kept saying, like, the thing is, you keep pushing these movies out, and then all of your movies for the next year and the year after get affected by you moving your dates, right? Yeah. So... That's why when HBO decided to do this, I was like, this is genius, because you're going to get your movies out, have good faith with the fans who are actually probably going to appreciate you releasing them, and it's not going to affect your movies moving forward now, which is huge. But
Yeah, I love it. It's like I feel so spoiled. Like when I was younger, I could never imagine like, oh yeah, movies that are coming out in theaters, I can also have the option of watching the same exact day at home. Like,
right.
I'm just so like, you don't realize how awesome it is. Like, I don't know.
No, I love the movie theaters though, so it kind of bummed that it's awesome too, because it's like I know that it's hurting that business, and I don't know it'll ever recover like it did.
Movies and
gotta move to Florida or Texas.
The last movie I saw was
Star Wars.
I saw Bad Boys for Life. That was the last movie I saw in theaters.
You went to see that? Oh my god,
dude! I love Bad Boys. I was gonna
too. I'm a huge Bad Boys fan. Huge Bad Boys fan.
Yeah, the last one I saw was Tenet. I decided to go out. For
Tenet.
Yeah.
Wow, Tenet.
Yeah.
Was it worth your time at the theater? I haven't even seen it.
I'll try to go see it. There was like only 3 people in there, so I felt okay.
I wanted to rent a theater to see Godzilla, but it just didn't work out that way. I would have.
Yeah.
I did honestly. I just didn't. It wasn't gonna work out. I might do it for Suicide Squad though, because that if theaters aren't back to where they are, because that looks fucking awesome too. But
yeah.
But let's talk about Godzilla versus Kong. So guys, what were your thoughts on the MonsterVerse thus far? And including this movie, what were your favorite movies? Nelly, go to you first.
Seeing I've watched all 4 of these movies in the past 4 days. I don't know. I like all of them. I don't know. It's like they all have their moments. I think like each one of them. I like how it kind of keeps the human element to like a minimum. It's not like honestly, who wants to watch these movies and watch like the human story play out? I honestly could give 2 shits. Like I obviously just want to see like the monster stuff. That's
right.
At least how I feel, and I feel like they do a good job in all 4 of these movies of kind of doing that. Even with like Bryan Cranston, although he's only in the movie for fucking 30 minutes, but
I wish
he was like a draw too. He was like a draw to that movie. People like Bryan Cranston and Godzilla, fresh off of Breaking Bad. I got to see this.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I thought all 4 of these movies were good. Like Kong, I love that movie. I think like the end. I like how it ends on like such a good note. Like
Skull Island, yeah.
Oh, with John C. Reilly, and like I love that ending. Like, they could have totally twisted that and had him not make it off the island, whatever. But I love how he actually makes it off the island and gets to have like the hot dog and the beer.
Yeah,
but he is the best part of that movie.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think I think Skull Island is the only one that has an actual human story I even care about a little bit.
Yeah. People bitched a lot about the human story in that movie, but I dug Skull Island a lot.
Like, I think there's a lot of throwaway soldiers that kind of are useless. I mean, they fucking kill off Toby Kebbell, and that guy's character totally was the setup to like that character's making it out. You know what I mean? He's like, he's got a newborn kid at home. He's writing letters to him and shit. Oh, and he literally just gets eaten like 45 minutes into the movie.
John Goodman too. I mean, it's like, I don't know. For some reason I didn't expect him to just get like gets fucking grabbed from behind.
I was bummed at the way they treated Shea Wiggum in Skull Island. Like he pulls the grenades and then he just gets swatted into the mountain.
Oh,
I mean, funny, but I
like
just
it for nothing.
Him.
It was like
I love him as an actor so much. I love everything he does, and it's like I thought he was gonna have more of a badass exit, but
he just he gets like backhanded.
It's memorable, very memorable death. It fucking blows up on the side of a cliff.
Yeah.
I mean, I would hope he was dead before then.
Oh, of course.
The impact of the tail whip. But
I don't know, like even like the first Godzilla movie, like I just thought like the plot was like pretty good, whereas it was cool with like you have like the male and the female, so it actually had like a cool
purpose for Godzilla.
A plot, yeah, or like what they were trying to do, and like it wasn't just like some like dumb monsters like whatever. So I like how it actually has like a plot line. Even the second one, like obviously it has a plot line, fucking fighting. What's his name? Good. I always fuck up his name.
Ghidorah.
Ghidorah?
Whatever.
Yeah,
Ghidorah. Berto probably said it better than I did.
Like even that was cool. And then with fucking obviously Kong, I don't know, that was awesome. I thought. And then this new one was fucking. I thought was great. Yeah. So I really have nothing bad to say about
any
all
of them.
4 of these movies. Yeah.
All right. I agree. I think they're all very good. But Matt, what are your what were your highlights from the MonsterVerse before we really dive into this new movie?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Sorry, you cracked up there. Yeah, like I really enjoyed this last one. I've seen all of them, but I've only seen them like probably once or twice. Like I wasn't like going back to them constantly. I did like the Godzilla from 2014 when that came out. Thought that was really cool. I skipped Kong Skull Island when that came out. I didn't see it until like a couple years ago when like I think around the time of when King of Monsters was coming out. So that was 2019, right? 2018?
Yeah, I think it was 2018.
Yeah.
2018. Yeah, I think I saw that then because I knew like that was like gonna lead into the big Godzilla versus Kong movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like obviously like this is like they're really good. Like obviously like the whole human stories are all kind of like all like no one's like everyone's always like we don't care about this. We just want to see them fight.
Right.
But then again, like you can't have a movie where it's just like they're just fighting for 2 hours because then it just becomes like Zack Snyder's Justice League, where nothing's happening. There's no humanity in it. But I did always find it strange. Like they never bring back any of the other characters from any of the previous movies. Like they only did it for these last two.
Right.
Like so, like you don't see like an older Brie Larson or something, or an older Tom Hiddleston showing up to be like, "Hey, what's going on?"
True.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I never even thought about that. Yeah, they definitely could have come back because
I think the only one they did was like Joe Morton was like was one of the soldiers back in Kong Skull Island, but like that was it.
Right.
If I recall correctly.
Yeah. No, that was a. You're right about that. These movies are the human. You're right. The human story is so like not important at all to these, and but you need it to develop it. I think this movie, Godzilla versus Kong, they were smart to go the angle they went with Kong being able to communicate with the girl, which maybe turn people off, but it actually gives you a plot where what Kong's doing makes sense because he's protecting the girl. He's communicating with the girl. He's doing what the girl is telling him to do. So like it drives the thing. As we're like Godzilla before is just like, I'm fighting for humanity, but not really, you know. Like,
he's just fighting to stay at the top of the Titans.
He's the alpha basically. Yeah.
Yeah. But like they set it up to like because they set it up he balances the scales to make sure they're not overrunning the planet, right? That's like what it is. Right. So
he's kind of just a big asshole is what he is. He just, he wants to be in charge pretty much. And he does win twice, correct? In this movie.
Yeah.
He beats Kong twice, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that they didn't fuck around with that. They were like, no, he just wins. And obviously they team up and stuff like that. And
you know what though? But I gotta say, Godzilla was a bit of a noob. He was sitting back, just like throwing Hadoukens and like keeping him at a distance because he knew if Kong got up close, Kong was gonna fuck him up. He
has the advantage of arms. So.
I said Scott Lang was talking about. He's like, how can Kong possibly win in this fight? I'm like, dude, he's got opposable thumbs.
Yeah, he's
got a battle axe.
Yeah, he's got an axe that's with a Godzilla spike on it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
One thing about this new one, I like the movie a lot, but God, the Millie Bobby Brown stuff,
useless.
Was really rough.
Useless.
And it sucks because they took that kid, the New Zealand kid from Deadpool, and made him sort of, the comic relief, but they tried to give him all those funny beats and they all just fell flat.
Oh, horrible.
Like, nothing they did was they could have cut everything with Millie Bobby Brown out. And then her dad's in it, who was in the previous ones, and he just kind of checks in like via radio every
Kyle Chandler.
Yeah.
He's in like sort of different scenarios like throughout, but he just kind of pops up once in a while. Like
he's only beginning and end.
Right. That's it.
He didn't need to be in this movie at all. I can't believe they paid him money for that. I mean, maybe this is a 4-hour Zack Snyder cut of this movie. But
it's only like under 2 hours, which I was like, oh, thank
really?
God.
Wow.
This movie flew. But like you're right. I can't believe Kyle Chandler was in this movie at all.
And
like,
also,
why?
The bad who was the bad guy who was funding Mechagodzilla?
Oh, the guy, he's like in stuff. I don't even know his name.
I don't know why.
He was on like the FX show, The Bridge. Do you guys remember that one?
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the one where like the murders they kept finding bodies on the bridge.
Yeah, between like Mexico and the US. It was like on the border.
Yeah, he's like the detective, right?
Yeah.
From the Mexican side of it.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I watched the first season of that show. I actually liked it. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, I understand his. Wait. Before we talk about him, wasn't his assistant there the one who was piloting Mechagodzilla? Was his last name Serizawa?
It's the guy's son.
Serizawa, though. Serizawa.
Telepath.
Yeah. Serizawa was the guy who in the previous installments was the one who loved Godzilla. Fucking died nuking Godzilla back to life.
Yeah,
right.
That's his son.
Why is his son such like a anti-Godzilla? Yeah, I mean that like
his dad died.
I know, but that is literally a plot line that is never addressed. And I was like, Serizawa, that's definitely the guy's son, right?
I only realized it was his son from the Wikipedia.
I didn't even look into it. Like, and now you're saying that, I was like, wow, that's messed up.
I know. Like they literally give him no screen time unless he's like strapped to a chair, where his acting is literally.
Yeah. They kind of breeze over the fact that he's a telepath, like that he has powers and shit like that. Like that's
no. He doesn't.
No. The skull has telepath. Yeah, the skull had the skull of Ghidorah.
The guy from that whatever the lead of the Apex thing. His name is Damien Bichir. I don't know how to fucking say it. Bichir.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, that guy didn't have any telepathic abilities, Berto. He was just he could strap himself in to control
right.
Mechagodzilla via the skull of Ghidorah.
All right, first off, did you guys see Mechagodzilla coming? Because I thought they were just setting that up for the sequel.
No, I knew that he was coming.
I pretty much fucking nailed the plot before I even fucking saw the movie.
Yeah. I saw the orb in the beginning, right? And I was like, oh, that's like Mechagodzilla's eye. I was like, they must be setting that up for the sequel, because like, there's no way they're going to bring in Mechagodzilla into this movie when they already have Godzilla versus King Kong.
Right.
Well, I mean, I assumed before this movie even came out, I'm like, this is going to be Batman versus Superman with Godzilla and Kong. Like, they're going to fight each other. They're going to come together over a common enemy at the end of it. That's exactly so.
Which is better than Batman versus Superman, because like the trailer didn't give away the story.
Well, it did though, because if you watch, so I did a review of the first trailer right when it first dropped, originally, and you can see people running into the subway when Mechagodzilla comes out of the mountain. You could literally see his fucking silver head come over the top of it.
Oh,
you
do? Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, they fucking spoiled Mechagodzilla already. And then it cuts to Serizawa's son, and you see Mechagodzilla on the screen behind him in the same trailer. So
I feel like I didn't see that trailer.
Oh,
I didn't see that trailer as well as you did.
Was actually spoiled by a toy, like once again. Like,
yes, they did. They revealed the toy back in the day too. Yes.
But they did
months earlier.
They gotta stop doing that shit, dude. Don't show anybody the toys for any movie until a movie comes out.
Yeah, it always comes out like that. It's crazy.
It's stupid.
That's how they spoiled Stormbreaker in Infinity War way back in the day.
Yeah.
That's how they also spoiled Shazam too. I remember.
Oh wow.
When they did the Shazam family.
Oh yeah. They had the whole. You're right. I forgot all about that.
Still never watched that movie.
Oh, it's good. But the So Mechagodzilla came in, and it's so funny because there's this whole thing going. It's like, this is literally just Batman vs Superman. It's like there's even a moment where they're staring at each other's face, and there's like a Martha moment.
Your mom's Martha too?
And they just roar at each other.
But it'd be great if it's seriously, they should have done it, because literally you could be like, if he was like, Mothra, why did you say that name?
Mothra. You save Mothra.
Save Mothra. No, it'd be hilarious. But it was good. I liked it a lot. I thought the fight scenes were awesome. Right off the bat.
It's cool how they just, even in the opening credits, they kind of just said, like, look, we're not fucking around. This is just a straight up monster versus monster movie, to the point where we're going to show you like a tournament style
brackets.
Like, the brackets in the beginning. I was like, oh, that's cool. So they know what this movie is. And it is very silly at points, but they kind of owned it. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't try to take themselves too seriously, which I always appreciate in a movie.
I mean, I feel like that's sort of a nod to the originals as well, right? Because like those weren't like taken very seriously, except for like the first one, where it's all about like anti atom bombs and stuff like that.
nuclear stuff,
Nuclear war.
yeah.
Yeah.
Testing and whatnot.
One of the human stories, obviously, like they shoehorn all these fucking things in here. The what's his face? Eric Skarsgård, is that his name?
Oh, Alexander
Skarsgård.
Yeah.
I think it's Eric from True Blood.
Yeah, he's Eric from True Blood. There you go. His character is interesting. I've never seen him play a movie character where he's like kind of like a coward. Right?
Nerd, yeah.
Because like all this shit's going down, and he like verbally screams a bunch in this movie.
Isn't he fucking Tarzan?
Yeah,
he was Tarzan.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
which is pretty funny that they have him like there's parts where things will happen. He's like like you can hear him like do like girly screams, and I was like, that's an interesting beat to have this character do that because he's normally kind of a badass, not a badass, but he's not like
He's
not
hero.
a character. Yeah, he's a hero character. He's not one you write in as like a total wuss.
I also find it strange too. Is like they don't bring in any like A-list actors into these movies, right? Like when you think of like because I was always just like, there's no like Tom Cruise or somebody like of that like
because then they eat up the fucking screen
movies.
time.
Yeah,
they don't distract. They kind of just grab who's like hot at the moment ish. Like
yeah.
Yeah, well, that I don't know. That's like
with the exception of like Sam Jackson in Skull Island, like
right.
I feel
like that was
Skull
the only
Island,
one.
That whole movie was just made for that stare down between Sam Jackson and Kong.
It's like who could stare down Kong and it would be
Right.
believable? Sam Jackson.
Sam
Jackson.
Yeah. It was all for that moment. We gotta kill this motherfucking monkey.
I'm sick of these motherfucking monkey on this motherfucking island.
Yeah.
No, it's. I thought this movie was awesome. I thought the fight scenes were awesome, and it doesn't take itself seriously. My biggest gripe in the entire movie
Bigger than Millie Bobby Brown?
Bigger than Millie Bobby Brown.
Wow.
Is they spend this whole movie getting to this fucking hollow earth land, right? And it was cool. I like the inversion of the gravity and all that stuff. But Godzilla literally just nuked like atomic breath straight to exactly where King Kong was. Exactly. That is like impossible.
I think he honed in on the energy signature, like just sort of.
But even still, his atomic breath shouldn't be so powerful that it can tunnel to the center of the earth.
Well, they're never
in minutes.
With that. They're never consistent with his atomic breath because I thought he needed to like charge up to do that. Seemingly, he can just kind of do it whenever right now. Like
that's exactly. He was throwing Hadoukens the whole fight. He was just sitting back, like, don't get near me. But
he really mastered that breath because before it was like a big deal when he did it.
And shouldn't his face have been like all fucked up from when Kong got the fucking breath and like came down with the axe on his fucking head? Like his face should have been all fucked up looking.
I mean, it is his power. You know what I mean? Like,
no, but just the axe itself hitting him in the face should have fucked his face up.
He's pretty much indestructible. I'm pretty sure. I think that's.
I mean, he got the axe. He got the axe stuck in his thigh.
Yeah, that's true.
But
true.
They said that's like his Kong's homeworld too. Like, how the fuck did he get on Skull Island then? Like what?
Well, they tunnel up. They can tunnel up through the Hollow Earth. That's all these animals come from the Hollow Earth.
Yeah, Kong was actually fighting Hollow Earth creatures like long before like anybody really knew what the fuck was going on,
And what when they're testing the fucking Mechagodzilla or whatever, like that fucking creature they release, is that one of those fucking skull fucking lizard things?
They say
the skull but it doesn't look like it had a fucking skull head though, right? It looked like it was just a fucking lizard.
It was inside the
No, I think it had one. I couldn't. I didn't. I only watched it once, so I don't know. But
when I looked at it, it didn't
when
look
he
like it had
when he rips it in half.
Oh no! When it's just out fighting him. It didn't look like he had like the
Like you talking about Mechagodzilla?
Yeah, when he's in like the inside when they're testing it, and then like fucking humans are in there.
I thought it had a skull head, but I didn't pay attention that closely.
It was a skull encased in metal. It had one of the Geejit
skulls. No. He's talking about the skull crawlers from Skull Island.
Oh right.
So Mechagodzilla rips one in half when he's like doing his test run or whatever.
He literally fucking shreds the fucking thing. Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
I thought it was like one of those things without a fucking skull head.
No, I thought it had one, but I don't know. Maybe you're right. But I liked everything. Mechagodzilla was a little obviously foolish to shoehorn it in, but it was cool to see Kong get kind of like cut. He basically fucked that thing up. Like as soon as like Godzilla like charged that axe again, he's like, I'm not fucking around. I'm cutting you to pieces like instantly.
Well, he had like the fucking sword that could fucking sense the orcs. Like for fucking.
Oh, Sting. Yeah.
It was glowing.
I got a question for you guys. When in the first battle and like when they're on sea, right? When like Kong jumps off the battle carrier, did you guys think Die Hard? When like because like you see,
Yeah, like his hands up.
he leaves like up like
Yeah, it's the
like John McClane.
The first thing that popped.
He's got the axe taped to his back.
Yeah, exactly. No, that is that, and the fact that I was like, oh, he's gonna drown because apes can't swim like that, but apparently he can still swim.
I like how he picked up the fucking F-18 or whatever, fucking and threw it like a fucking dart.
Yeah, like a ninja star.
It was a ninja star. Okay, connects.
Like a paper fucking plane. Just like.
I like that he jumped. This is the thing about Kong that I think was it was a smart move to kind of make him your protagonist character, is because he's so connected to the people that he's with that he literally is like, I got to get off this boat or this fucking thing's going to destroy this boat. Right. You know? So he literally leaps to the next carrier.
Also, I just thought about this right now. Like fucking Godzilla, what? He just like fucking swims around all the fucking time. So who's to say he didn't fucking just like land on fucking Skull Island one day? And they met like at some other point in time. He's just like fucking gliding around the fucking ocean. Like who's to say he didn't fucking just like prop up on fucking Skull Island? They fought.
I mean, if he had, he would have killed Kong back in the day because Kong was so much smaller back then in the 70s,
right.
You know?
So
like,
I think that
the difference is huge compared. Like,
I think there was a when Godzilla, when King of the Monsters came out, there was they released, obviously all these movies get like books, like the book version of it or whatever.
Oh, the novelization.
Yeah, novelization of it. And in the novelization of King of the Monsters, there's actually a really sick little like, it's not a chapter, but it's a little like blurb. After Ghidorah starts calling all the fucking Titans to him because he's like he thinks he's killed Godzilla and he's like taking them all over. There's it cuts to all the different monsters kind of breaking up and going to where they need to go to, but it cuts to Skull Island, right? And Kong hears him, and Kong's like, it gets the perspective of his mind, and he's like, I can hear it calling me. He's like, but I'm not going. Fuck that guy.
Wasn't there also some sort of weird meteorological like storm that kind of blocked Skull Island from the right?
That happens in Skull. Yeah, that happens in Skull Island.
It's like the Lost Island.
I think Godzilla might know that like while Kong's on Skull Island, he's not a threat to anything because like he's contained. He can't get away. He's not gonna go anywhere. He's never left the island. He could probably sense that. So that's why this movie is such a, like, as soon as they start moving Kong, that's when Godzilla goes for him, you know? Because he's like, I can sense the other alpha out there.
My favorite things, though, it's like when, it's like the expressions that, like, Kong makes, like, after, like, you know, he fucks somebody up, and it's just like, he's like, what, motherfucker? Like, it's just like, he makes that, like, it's like the first, like, that thing where he's like, oh, it looks like Kong wins round 2. Like, you just see him, like, he's just like, the look on, like, the expression on his face, he's just like in his mannerisms, it's just like, he's like, now what? Like, it's just like, he like kind of like pans out into like the darkness or whatever.
So when this movie got announced, I literally, like, as I said, I had that conversation with Scott where I was like, he's got opposable thumbs. I'm like, he's gonna duck and weave. He's gonna be able to like move through the city, like jumping through buildings and shit and get away from Godzilla. And I didn't think it was actually gonna happen like that, you know. So, but then you see him literally like, grabbing skyscrapers and like whipping around them and shit. Like, I was like, this dude's literally like everything I thought would happen in this movie did. So
I thought they were gonna do like the iconic shot, like of him, like, you know, on top of like the Empire State Building. You know, like
dude, he's too big. He's bigger than the State Building.
He's too big, yeah.
But like I figured because he was on that building, I felt like they were gonna do like a pan out of him like on the building, just like for like even like a second.
Well, they do the cutaway where he's hanging on the top of it, like waiting for Godzilla, and Godzilla's like, "Where are you, motherfucker?" Yeah. And then he fucking jumps down.
Distracts him.
Oh yeah, he does. He throws something, and Godzilla
he throws basically what is a rock when you like in your video game, like you throw the rock to distract somebody.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're right, he does that. Then he jumps on his back.
Yeah.
So I don't know, when I was watching it too, I don't know why. I'm probably the only person to ever make this analogy, but all I could think about was like the beginning of this movie was like the Truman Show. I was like fucking King Kong and like fucking Truman Show. He's in like the fucking he's in like the bubble. It's like
when he's throwing branches at him and stuff. Yeah.
You can't get like how to scale how big that enclosure was for him, but like that must have been gigantic, you know, because he's as big as Godzilla now, for Christ's sakes. So But the right off the bat, like even it was in the trailer, but all I know is like when Godzilla steps up onto that aircraft carrier, and he's like, "I'm up here now," and then Kong just like hits him with that haymaker. Like, like honestly, like I would love somebody to cut out that portion of that video and just zoom in on Godzilla in slow mo, and be like, and right about here is when I knew things were going off the rails.
Yeah.
Because like that was such a good punch. Like,
when keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
I just love the way Kong fights in general. Once in Skull Island, when he strips that tree and uses it as a bat to fight the skull, whatever they're called, those guys. I don't know. I just love the way he fights. It's so cool to watch.
Every time the atomic breath's coming, and he's like, "Nope," pushes him up, and he's like burns his hand. He's like, "Ah, shit."
Yeah.
I like when he like fights shit and then he fucking just like immediately eats it. Like he fucking like the
that was cool.
Skull Island. You like eats. It's like the fucking giant octopus thing. And then he fucking just like.
I have that playing. That part just happened right now.
And then like the new one, it's like the fucking snake thing. He just fucking opens it up and starts fucking drinking the inside of the snake.
Is anyone else sad at all? No, I wasn't. But when that when the guy's daughter like eats it, like I'm so glad Kong killed that ship.
The way that happens, he's just like. He's like fucking drops her.
Like, I forgot about her. She's like yet another human character that I just didn't give a shit about. Like,
it's like totally unnecessary. Like literally, like.
But a perfect amount of. That's what I like. I feel like I'm glad it was like to that extent though, because it's like I feel like it. You don't want to care about like those things.
Yeah.
It's like it's just enough.
Just enough to make sure that she dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that he caught it. I like that he crushed it. Like, again, it's one of those decisions. It's like, why would you shoot Kong, who literally led you down here, protected you from the fucking flying monsters?
Those
like,
things are fucking
evil. That's why.
Dude, those things were so ugly. Like, if you look at the faces on those things, God, those things are ugly.
I'm surprised. Bats.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised this movie didn't have a post-credit scene of some kind, teasing some kind of creature return.
I did stick around. And,
Me too.
Kind of scrubbed the head. Yeah, just.
And I was like, I'm like nothing. Like they all tease something. You're not gonna. Maybe they didn't think they would ever get another one, but I mean, it's like I said, it's doing well enough that they probably will. But I mean, I don't know what you do, Space Godzilla or fucking Destroyer or something like that. Yeah. But
Space Kong, he's got a big old bubble. You know.
Mecha Kong.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I assumed that you'd probably see like that same technology used to like bring, because they do Mecha Ghidorah, where it's got like two metal heads and one of the real heads. But again, you're not bringing. It'd be stupid to bring Ghidorah back. But the only thing this series hasn't done yet is aliens. You know, they say that Ghidorah is not from our world, but that's the only hint towards aliens. So that's really all that's left.
The things in the first one look like fucking aliens. Like
they do.
Yeah, they look like fucking Starship
Troopers.
Do they actually have names? Bugs. Yeah, the Motus or Mutus.
Oh, Muto.
Muto.
You're gonna fight some Mutos.
Masters of the universe. But all right. Does anyone else have any other Godzilla points you want to bring up before we end this thing, guys?
I'm good.
I'm good.
All right, good. End a little early. You got your Godzilla in. All right.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's going to do it for us here on Geek Babble, guys. Thank you so much to anyone who's going to tune into this. Please click that like button and subscribe to our channel, and we'll get you with another video after my hernia surgery. Bye.
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 He just exited out. He didn't exit out the live video.
Stay live?
It's still live.
What an idiot.